Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you're doing well. This is the weekend's finally upon us. Hope you all are enjoying today. It's Mother's Day weekend. To me, every day is Mother's Day. I just hate, I don't, how these holidays are, here in America, and we're European holidays. If they tell us something is, and that's what it is. Like they say it's Mother's Day, then oh, it's Mother's Day. But if it says Father's Day, oh, it's Father's Day. But every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Father's Day. If you have your mother around, be thankful. Many people don't. So cherish your mother, not just on Mother's Day, but every day. Every day. Cherish her, love on her every day. Not just when they tell you it is, the second Sunday in May. Love her on her every day, every day. And to all the mothers out there, I hope you enjoy this weekend. And I hope you all enjoying the weekend. It's been a tough week for me. Not gonna really get into it, but just been one of those weeks for the books. Just been a tough week. And so I'm gonna say just been a hellish week for me. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Get into the topic for this video. So on Wednesday, yep, 3 days ago, Donald Trump did a town hall meeting on CNN among GOP voters and undecided in New Hampshire. So Wednesday evening, I watched maybe about 5 minutes of it. The Warriors were playing Game Five, and the Knicks had played earlier, Game Five as well. So I was interested in watching those games. I wasn't really concerned about Trump or this thing on CNN. I don't watch CNN. Um, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. You know, the man. He is what he is. With Trump, what you see is what you get. I've said that before. Not a supporter. Um, Not a fan of Donald Trump. I think he's an evil man, rich white man, like our most rich white men are. They're evil. They have money and they think, that the rules don't apply to them. And that's Donald Trump. Yes, he's racist. He is a racist. But so is Joe Biden. So was Bill Clinton. So was George W. Bush, his daddy, Reagan, all of them. All of them are all crooked and just racist. And were powerful, rich white men who had too much power and just too much privilege. And that's Donald Trump. And that's him. I mean, the man just uh he has no kumph. Is he smart in some ways? Yeah, he's crafty. I give him that. He is crafty. But I don't think he was a good president. I think Obama was better in the sense that Obama was had the intelligence. He knew how to speak to people. He had charisma. So in that sense, Obama was a better president. However, Trump was more effective because Trump got stuff done for the people who voted for him. He delivered on his promises to the people who voted for him. Obama, no, he didn't. Obama didn't do anything for black people. Obama made you feel good with the things he was saying. Trump was just blunt. He was just, this was just blunt. You know, he told it like it was, and people appreciate about him. But Obama kind of, danced around certain things, this and that. But as far as intelligence and bringing grace to the Oval Office, Obama far exceeded Trump. He did. I have to tell the truth on that one. He did. Like I said, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. But in any event, so I'm looking at this, and again, this is on CNN.com. I'm not a fan of CNN or their website, but these are the 8 takeaways they had from Trump's town hall meeting that was in New Hampshire on Wednesday night. Um, Let me see here. Hit the thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on when I do videos on here. Okay. Did he regret his role in the U.S. Capitol riot on January 6, 2021? Will he attempt to walk the line in a bid to win over moderate voters? No, and no, emphatically no. So, it was moderated by Caitlin Collins, and they said here that Trump pretty much showed on Wednesday night that he is very much the same person Americans came to know in 2016 throughout his first 4 years in office and in the aftermath of his 2020 election defeat. Of course, did y'all actually think this man was going to change? Trump is stubborn. He's not going to change. One thing about old men, particularly old white men, they're stuck in their ways. They're not going to change. And Trump is an old, senile white man who's stuck in his ways. So of course um, he don't regret anything about January 6th. And this is just goes to show me that we just hold on to stuff in here in this country. They 9/11, January 6th, we hold on Pearl Harbor, we hold on to these things. Never forget, never forget, never forget. But when it comes to slavery and demanding reparations for slavery, oh, forget it. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. It was a long time ago. Get over it. Get over it. Y'all, a lot of white people haven't gotten over slavery. They still had these, you have people in the South and in the North too, who still think that blacks are inferior to them. They still think that we should be pretty much beneath them, another underclass. So that's the same views they had during the Civil War. It hasn't changed in 2023. So y'all need to get over it. This isn't 1853 or 1862. Y'all need to get over it. Funny how that happens, right? But in any event, he said that he talked about a potential debt default as a minor inconvenience. Wouldn't say if he had backed Ukraine over Russia in the war. He won't. He won't. Putin is his homie. He's not. And spoke glowingly of his family separation policy at the U.S. border. Hmm. I'm gonna touch on that too. Notably, Trump refused to plant a flag in the sand on a potential federal abortion ban. He did, however, make a number of false claims about abortion being conducted at 9 months. Well, that's just what Eric Adams said. He said at 9 months, kill the fetus. Y'all remember that? Eric Adams, Democratic mayor of New York City, he passed a law saying at 9 months could kill the baby. I did a podcast on it. I sure did. He repeated much of what he said previously. Trump blamed others for, of course he did, January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. He lied about the timeline of that day, suggesting he had called for his supporters to stand down earlier than he actually did. Yeah, he is lying about that. And he again criticized former Vice President Mike Pence for not trying to overturn the election results. Why? This dude is unbelievable, man. What was Mike Pence supposed to do? You wanted the vice president to overturn the election results? Are you serious? Trump is hilarious, but his supporters love him. God bless him. It's just comical. I said on my Facebook timeline that this next year's election, 2024, is going to be comical. it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be a circus. It's gonna be comical. You got two old white men who need to sit down somewhere, who don't need to be running for no office. They don't even need to be running for dog catcher, let alone president of the United States. They don't. They're too old. What, Joe Biden would be what, 81 this year? Trump would be 77. This is the this is America. Only in America will they elect old white people, particularly old white men, well, mainly old white men, to run this country. Old white men whose mental capabilities are not there. Something's wrong with Joe Biden. He's not there. Something's wrong with Donald Trump. He's not there. But yet and still, we keep electing these people to run this country. And then we wonder why we have the issues that we have when they're in office. We can't understand why. They're out of touch. They're too old. They need to go somewhere. And like a good homie of mine said, and play some checkers. I mean, watch The Price is Right. Eat your oatmeal. Go to the mall at 9 o'clock and walk around when the mall opens up at 9, 10 o'clock. Go walk around the mall. Y'all don't got that much time on this planet. I mean, I don't want to speak that on them, but I mean, come on. Joe Biden, wow, you'll be 81 in November, and you're gonna run again, and then you don't want to debate anyone. That's what's crazy to me. You don't want. Since when do they have presidential selections? Notice I said selections where there's not a debate. That is so fascist. So you're the only candidate. We can't hear from any other candidate. Just you and you only. That's fascism. The Republicans don't have any other candidates. We just got to hear from Trump. The Democrats don't have any other candidates. We got to hear from President Quaker Oats. I mean, come on. Something's wrong with that picture. Something's very wrong with that picture. Continuing on, he smeared former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll. I think this one, E. Jean Carroll, excuse me. E. Jean Carroll, the day after a Manhattan federal jury found that Trump sexually abused her in 1996. And Trump repeated his infamous comments from the Access Hollywood tape that emerged in 2016. Not gonna get into that. When he wasn't calling women names, airing grievances, or attempting to rewrite history, the former president largely dodged questions and follow-up inquiries from Collins, saying he was looking at his options without committing to anything in particular. Unsurprisingly, the mostly Trump loyal audience lapped it up. Of course they did. Trump's place in the GOP primary polls, as he often mentioned, is strong. In New Hampshire and Wisconsin tonight, he showed why. Now, here's the 8 takeaways. So regarding E. Jean Carroll, she was awarded $5 million. Trump denied the accusations and again said he never met her. Trump was found by a jury to be liable for sexual abuse. This woman, I don't know her. That's what Trump said. I never met her. I have no idea who she is, Trump said before going off on an odd tangent about her former husband and a pet. Don't know what that was about. He also brushed off a question over whether the verdict would hurt his standing with female voters, saying he died. You know what? He's right about that because when the Access Hollywood tape came out of him saying, I grab women by their private parts. We know he didn't say private parts. He said the P word that ends in Y. I'm not going to say it on here, but he said I grab women by their private parts, and a staggering, what was it, 53%? Let me see. If it was, I think it was 53% of women still voted for him. This man admitted on tape of sexually assaulting women, and it was either close to 50% or a little bit over. Women still voted for him. I know it's more than 45%. I want to say maybe 47 to 53%, maybe somewhere in that range. That's a great amount. And they still voted for this fool after he admittedly, blatantly, and stupidly bragged about sexually assaulting women. They still elected him. Like I said, this presidential selection is a joke. Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, the late Richard Pryor, the late George Carlin, they couldn't write a better joke than this presidential selection. They couldn't. It's a joke. It's an utter joke. Only in America can a white man in America with three Ks, can a white man brag about sexually assaulting women and still get elected? Let me go on here. Distinction. While the jury found, okay. Oh, the reaction from the Trump friendly audience appeared to support his opinion. They laughed at his jokes and other dismissive comments about Carol. This is the country living in. Is there any surprise by that? While the jury found that Trump sexually abused Carol sufficient to hold him liable for battery, they did not find that Carol proved he raped her, a distinction Trump was quick to point out. And she filed the lawsuit last November under the New York State Adult Survivors Act, a state bill that allowed renewed consideration of sexual assault allegations that would previously have been mooted by the statute of limitations. Trump says GOP should be willing to blow up debt ceiling. Of course he did. Um, I'm gonna skip over that. Oh, he was vague on abortion ban on a federal. He repeatedly ducked questions about whether he would sign into a law a federal abortion ban, as well as after how many weeks into a pregnancy abortion should be made illegal. He touted the Supreme Court's decision last year to overturn Roe v. Wade's federal abortion rights as such a great victory, and one made possible by his appointment of three conservative justices. Of course, he plans to ban federal abortion. Look what the judges he appointed. I mean, it's pretty much obvious. And he's against abortion, which should be left up to the states. 10th Amendment, 10th Amendment, 10th Amendment, left up to the states. Shouldn't be the federal government, it should be left up to the states to decide. Because if Michigan decides to ban abortion, then the woman should have the right to go to Ohio, or let's say Ohio allows abortion, or Illinois, or Indiana, whatso have you, to have her abortion. I don't agree with abortion. I feel it's wrong. Um, However, in the case of medical emergencies, incest, or rape, then yes. I concur with abortions, but on only on those three issues: medical emergencies, incest, and rape. That's the only time that I concur with an abortion. Other than that, you go out here, you hook up with some dude, get pregnant. Oh, I want an abortion. No, no, no. Sorry. If you don't want the child, put the child up for adoption. But don't kill the child for um, piss poor decision that you made. That's some BS, and that ain't fair. Because shouldn't the father have a right, uh, have a say in the matter about whether or not they want to raise a child, whether or not they want to keep the child? Shouldn't the father have a right in this discussion? How come this isn't mentioned? A good brother of mine did a video a couple of weeks back with his girlfriend, and they discussed this on this Facebook timeline. So I mean, shouldn't have, how come I don't understand why it takes a man to make a baby. It takes a man to make a baby. It takes a man to make a baby, not another woman. It takes a man to make a baby. We found this out in middle school. Some of us learned the birds and bees from our parents when we were middle school age, and we took this in biology, high school, sex ed. They went over this, but now the liberals will have you believe that two men can have a baby or two women can have a baby. It's humanly impossible. Humanly impossible. Yes, I know they had a male frog gave birth to a tadpole. That's because these wicked scientists created that frog to do that. They genetically did something to a male frog. They genetically did something to this male frog for it to give birth to a tadpole. We know that that isn't normal. We know that. But humanly, it's impossible for two men, for two people of the same sex to create a baby. It's humanly impossible. They want you to believe the science on climate change. Well, damn it, believe the science on this. So despite what they say, a man, it takes a man to make a baby. Shouldn't this man have a right or a say so regarding whether or not to keep his child? I'm just saying. Moving along, Trump didn't say if he would back Ukraine in war with Russia. Again, we know he's going to back Russia. Putin is his homie. We already know this. He's not going to say it, but he don't have to say it because we know by his actions, by his past. I mean, isn't it obvious? He says, I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people. Asked to choose a side, asked to choose a side he would prefer to win, Trump again demurred. I want everyone to stop dying, he said before promising to end the war in 24 hours. Yeah, right. Ultimately, Trump fell back on two familiar topics: demanding Europe put up more money in support of Western goals, and speaking meekly about Russian President Vladimir Putin. He made a tremendous mistake, Trump said of Putin, before adding, he is a smart guy. Whatever. The mistake, Trump said, was going into Ukraine, something the former president added that would not have happened. That would not have happened if he was still in the White House. Probably wouldn't. Who knows? Oh, Trump says he'll pardon January 6 rioters. Of course he will. Come on, of course he will. Those were his peoples. He didn't tell them to stand down. It wasn't until they begged him to, that's when he told them to stand down. But before, he was pretty much encouraged. He didn't tell them to do it, but he didn't stop them until it was already out of hand and too late. Again, he didn't encourage them, but again, he didn't stop them until he didn't tell them to cease until it was already way, way, way out of hand. Way out of hand. But he said he'll pardon January 6 rioters, which is again no big surprise. Trump demonstrated no remorse for his role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the US Capitol. Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. Asked about former Vice President Mike Pence's claims that Trump's actions put his family's lives in danger, Trump said he does not owe Pence an apology. Wow. Throwing your former homie under the bus, and blamed his former vice president for his ceremonial role in counting electoral college votes. No, because he did something wrong. He should have put the votes back to the state legislature, Trump said, wrongly insisting that Pence had the legal authority to reject some states' electoral votes. Get over it, bruh. I don't like Joe Biden. I didn't vote for the man, but you lost. You lost. And this just goes to show you that Trump is a sore loser. He's a sore loser. He is. You lost, bruh. Again, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I didn't want Joe Biden in the White House, but he won the election or the selection. You lost, Trump. Come back. Come back stronger. Let the man do his 4 years, and then if you want to run again, which you're going to do anyway, then run again. Which is crazy because you shouldn't be allowed to do it. It's insane that even a. That's another story. But again, rich white men, the rules don't apply to them. But I mean, do what you do, man. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy that this guy is still bemoaning about this election 3 years after the fact. But it's a spoiled brat, old ass spoiled brat. Trump also said he was inclined to pardon many other pro-Trump rioters who were convicted for their roles in the attack on the Capitol. Well, 6 people did die. He said he won't be able to pardon every single one, but said it will be a large portion of them, even the ones who kill people. And he criticized a U.S. Capitol police officer who shot and killed rioter Ashley Babbitt, who was attempting to crawl through a broken window leading to the White House speakers, leading to the House Speaker's lobby. Dude, she was a terrorist. She was breaking into the Capitol. She was committing a crime. The Capitol Police are required to defend the Capitol, even though they did a horrible job of it, of a great majority of them, because if those rioters were mainly black, the steps of the Capitol would have been red with blood. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Am I telling the truth or am I speaking the gospel truth? It would have been stained with blood. You know it and I know it. So let's not pretend it's crazy. Trump suggests family separation immigration policy could return. So Title 42 actually expired on Thursday night, uh, f- Friday midnight, Thursday night going into midnight Friday morning. It expired, meaning that any illegal that's caught trying to come into the country, they will be prosecuted, and so yeah, they'll be prosecuted, and they won't be allowed to. They waive the right of the 5 year entry reentry. They um they won't be allowed to they won't be allowed to re-enter the country within a 5 year period after the 5 years of their arrest. So, but a lot of these, from what I was seeing, a lot of people are crossing the Rio Grande River that separates Texas and the Rio Grande River, which separates Texas and Mexico. They were coming in by the droves. They were like, "Damn it, we get caught, we get caught." They said, "We're willing to take that risk." And I feel immigration, it does us no good. And I say us, I'm talking about black people. It does us no good because it dilutes our power or our voting power, which is already diluted as it is. But we have no political power. We have no economic power. Most of your construction jobs are illegal, are immigrants. Most of your jobs in hospitality are immigrants. And when I speak about jobs in hospitality, I'm talking about in the hotel industry. A lot of your which I don't want to service workers who work in the hotel industry, the people who clean your rooms, change your bed sheets, clean the bathrooms, what so have you. Those are immigrants. Most of them are not black people. It was jobs done by black people decades ago. Construction jobs were jobs done by black people decades ago. I remember it. My grandmother was a worked in the hotel industry, cleaning rooms, what so have you, back in the 50s in Detroit. Construction, we had those jobs. A black construction company, black people built Hartsfield International Airport in Atlanta, built the runways. Excuse me. They didn't build the airport, but they built the runways. They sure did. They made improvements to Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport. Hartsfield Jackson. Black people did that. But with these illegals coming over here from south of the border or wherever they're coming from, it just dilutes our political power because when they come here on the census forms or when they vote, they don't claim to be Hispanic or Asian. They claim white. They claim white. Even though they're not white, they claim white. So, and Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about this in his book Powernomics. For decades, centuries, black people were the number two um, race of people in this country. It was white people, it was black people, white people, black people. Now we're number four. We were a majority minority. Now we're a minority minority. But that's before immigration. And who built this country? We did. America was built on our blood, sweat, tears, what so have you, death, misery, all kind of hell we went through to build this damn country. Immigrants come here and they're allowed to enter illegally, and reap the benefits of what we built. We couldn't even enjoy the fruits of our labor. We still can't. And we put faith in these politicians, black people, particularly the Democrats, who constantly give benefits to illegal immigrants. Constantly give benefits to illegal immigrants. What do we have? What do we have to show for it? Oh, well, we voted. We got a sticker. They come to our church, our churches, get on the get on the pulpit and tell black people to vote for the Democrats. Vote Democratic. Vote Democrat. Vote Democrat. Get the jab. Vote Democrat. Get the jab. Vote Democrat. If you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. Or if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Joe Biden. They always use symbolism. They come to our churches, eat fried chicken. Hillary Clinton had hot sauce in her purse. Kamala Harris, oh, I love collard greens. Her pearls. I wore Timbs. I rocked the Timbs. I listened to Tupac back in the 80s. That's funny. The man didn't drop his first album until 1991. I had it. Tupacalypse Now. It dropped in 91. It didn't drop in the 80s. So stop lying. I rock Timbs. I love the words of time. I love the song Atomic Dog. Symbolism. But yet we fall for it, hook, line, and sinker every 4 years. It's insane. It's just insane. Dr. Claude Anderson said in his book Powernomics, I love this man. I love Dr. Claude Anderson. He says in Powernomics, as a matter of fact, hold on. Instead of me talking about it, I'll show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Powernomics. Dr. Claude Anderson. Go to his website, powernomics.com. Again, go to his website, powernomics.com, and purchase his books. Not just this one, he has other books there too. Please, let's support this man. Let's support this great black man. Powernomics.com, where you can find this book, Powernomics, and others. But in this book, Powernomics, Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about how people come here, immigrants come here for a better life. Why can't you build it in your country? Why come here? Freeloading. He speaks of this. He speaks of how black people, many of our black so-called black leaders, will support illegal immigration, but won't even lift a finger or raise a voice for the concerns of black people. He mentioned this in Powernomics. Great read. Purchase it, read it, learn it. Powernomics.com. You can find that book and many others on this website. Great man. But it's just so and Dr. Boyce Watkins spoke about this on Thursday, and I echo his same sentiments. Why are politicians coming to our churches? Why? I think it's a disgrace. Um, it's disrespectful for politicians to come to church, to come to our churches and tell black people how to vote. And these pastors allow it. These, not all of them, not all of them, but these silly ass pastor pork chops allow it. You don't get something for nothing. Their churches are supposed to speak about getting saved, getting salvation, not who you're gonna vote for, not getting a jab, which a lot of pastors promoted, and I thought that was so wicked. It was an abomination before God for these pastor pork chops, these pork chop eating pastors to sit up here and tell the congregation to get the jab. Jesus was against Roman. He didn't hate the Romans because he said, "Render to Caesar that which is of Caesar." But he knew the government was evil, and he did not respect their powers, their wickedness, the how they use their power. Jesus was against that, and Jesus would have been against this jab. I'm just saying, Jesus would have been against people being forced to get the COVID-19 vaccination. He would have. He would not have taken a shot from the Romans. Just saying. So it's an abomination before God for these pastors to get up here on their pulpit and tell their congregation to get the jab, how to vote. I didn't come to church for you to tell me how to vote. Take politics out of it. I come to church for salvation, to find God, to be closer to God, to worship with other followers of Christ. Also, church should be encouraging people to be more active in their community. They should be more community based. How are we going to save our community? That's what the churches should be doing instead of having these silly ass politicians come up there, eat fried chicken and sing Negro spirituals off key. It's dumb. It's silly, and it's foolishness. It's utter foolishness. Not all pastors do this, but far too many do. Talking about these pastor pork chop eating pastors. I mean, these pork chop eating pastors, excuse me. You want to tell people that the jab is going to make them healthy. Meanwhile, after service, you serving fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, greens with bacon, eating this greasy ass food, then gonna wash it down with some Kool-Aid, some sugary Kool-Aid, and a slice of cake. But the jab is supposed to make you better? Right, right. No, eating healthy, exercising will make you healthy, not a damn miracle shot. Get out of here with that nonsense. Too many of these pastors are fugazi. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it again. Too many of these pastors are fugazi. Not all of them, but too many of them are. And if you're a fugazi, pork chop eating pastor, I'm speaking to you. Shame on you. It's an abomination before God, telling people how to vote and promoting this vaccine, this jab. which people are dying from. In any event, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications I want to do videos on here. But so CNN, I think it was a upheaval at it was an upheaval at CNN because a lot of the staff there were mad that Trump they gave him a platform. But I feel like this: the man has a right to speak. I may not agree with what he's saying, but I agree that he should have a platform to speak. So why not give it to him? You're supposed to be fair and balanced. That's what CNN used to say. We're fair and balanced. And once upon a time they were. The days of Bernard Shaw, the brother, the older black man that used to be on CNN back in the 90s. Think back in the 80s and 90s. Bernard Shaw. I don't know if those of y'all old enough to remember. I know I am. But Bernard Shaw was an excellent journalist. Excellent, excellent journalist. When journalists were journalists, they were supposed to be unbiased. But now they tell people how to think, what to believe. And as a journalist, that's a conflict of interest because, again, you're supposed to be unbiased. Your opinions are your opinions, but you leave that out of your workplace. You don't put that into your job. And like I said, the staff at CNN, they were up in arms about it. Um, like, why'd you give Trump a platform? Well, you give Joe Biden a platform, why not Trump? I guess it's this new. I think CNN got a new CEO or the current CEO that they have. He's trying to. I guess he's trying to make it fair and balanced. I mean, I think it was a good move by him to let Trump on CNN. I mean, why not? Let people hear both sides. I do not agree with what Trump is saying. I do not agree with it. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm not a Biden supporter either. I don't agree with the stuff he says. But let people hear both sides. Let's be fair and balanced. That's what journalism is supposed to be about, right? But we know it's not because the most effective devil in America, most effective devil in America is the media. MEDIA, most effective devil in America. Shout out to Maj Toure for that one. They are. So, I mean, it's just like the media. They only thing the media does now, journalists do, they scare people. They scare people into believing how they believe. Fear tactic. That's what journalism has become now. It's a shame, but this is America with three Ks. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications or when I do videos on here. I'm gonna hop off of here. I think I made my point well. My point's well known on this, but like I said, CNN, since they can't, what's his name, Chris Cuomo was it last year? Now Don Lemon a couple of weeks ago. They seem like they kind of changing a little bit, and it's ruffling a lot of feathers down there. So we shall see what happens. But they're getting a lot of backlash over giving Trump a platform. So, but let the man speak. Let him run his mouth. I don't agree with him. I don't like the man, but it's not about that. It's about what the people want to hear. Let them hear both sides. But in the event, y'all take care. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Um, I know tomorrow's Mother's Day, so Enjoy your mom, not just on tomorrow, but every day. Like I stated earlier in this video, every day, not just on today. On tomorrow, but every day. Enjoy this beautiful weekend. Be safe, brothers as well as sisters. Beware and be aware. This devil is busy and is working quadruple overtime to take us out. So please, please be safe. Be safe and take care of each other and take care of yourselves. I love you dearly. Thank you for your support. Continue to support the podcast and this YouTube channel. I can't do this without you. I need y'all support. So hang in there with your brother, and I completely love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Again, we don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Please, let's do that, y'all. All right, till next time, y'all take care. Peace and blessings.